I don't know how many times I'm gonna just start a recording without actually recording. But basically, Isaac, this is the second video. I just wasn't recording the audio. But you said this blue line. I just thought it was gonna come to this top blue line. And then I had said it may come down to these two smaller points first. That's what I thought. Right now, we see that it did hit that first one and actually created a little bit more liquidity and swept some more internal liquidity. So we sweep those, and then I basically see my setup. So the sweep of liquidity, I want to see this close, or it already closed above. And then I want to see it create a fair value gap, and then I'll enter about right there, God willing. Yep. Oh, too slow on the draw. I'm not quick enough. Not quick enough at all. Ah, man. Maybe it'll give me another chance. Maybe. ICT said low-hanging fruit objective. And take partials. Oh, man. Dang. Well, let's see. This candle tapped into this order block. I'll enter at the top of that candle. The top of this candle. Maybe. Oh, man. Nah, I kind of really want to wait to see if I get my fair value gap entry. Dang, man. Another entry bites the dust. But this was the exact thing that I was talking about. This didn't come. It wouldn't have entered me in if I chose this fair value gap. It closed here, open above. That's a volume imbalance. Maybe if it gets to right here, but if it doesn't get me in lower and I don't get a better fill, I'm just not taking it because that's bad. That's not my model. Yeah, I'm just not doing that. Now, who's to say that is the next draw on liquidity? That top is probably the next draw on liquidity, but I need a better entry. So we're sweeping this. We're probably gonna dip down a little bit. Oh no, we're not sweeping it. We're breaking it. Okay, so man, this would have been smooth as butter. This propulsion block, smooth as butter. If this was my take profit, yes. But with this breaker structure, we have a new range. If we tap into there, we confidently close above that. Confidently. So, oh man. Oh baby, a triple. Oh yeah. Nah, shoot, yeah, if it does come back down here, I'll take it. Macro time. Let's see. Up for value gap. I'll take that. If I'm being honest, I think this is a breakaway gap. But I'm going to pay my stop loss to do his job at $5 risk, 488. And then $6 is a take profit. Oh, there we go. How did I not see that? Oh, because it ain't on each broker. What does it look like? What's the difference? What candlestick is it? It's the 747. So this candlestick doesn't have a wick on my broker. So what that means is if I would have seen that, and I would have been looking at that broker, this would have been the ideal entry. And I think if we do get right there, I think we are right there. I don't need to expose myself to more risk, but I do need to inspect price a little bit better going forward. Yup. Now if we look at it right here, this is a super clean boy. So we entered at the top of that. We still get a pretty smooth 1-to-1. The gambler in me is thinking, okay, with a 1-to-4, you would be like, if I just targeted this, I'd get all my losses back plus some more. I feel like I'm noticing greed. Like, I'm starting to understand fear in myself, meaning I'm starting to recognize and respect risk. So I don't want to expose myself, even with a demo account, I don't want to expose myself to too much risk. And I'm also learning about greed and why I need to be taking my low-hanging fruit. This would be the top of this black line. If I had entered here, this would be a low-hanging fruit objective. This would also be a low-hanging fruit objective. But this is my objective. Oh, nope, not even that one. Yes, this one. Yes, this is my objective. Yes, Isaac, I did say that. But ultimately, this one is where I think it's going to go overall. And if you remember, about 7:30 is when we started this conversation. We came down, dropped down, swept that stuff. And then we're pushing higher. This was, okay, let me be stupid clear. This was where I intended to enter the first time. This is where I knew there was a good entry opportunity the second time, but I didn't enter because I did not have the conviction, which both of these could be your individual model. This is also a third entry that I can clearly see. And shoot, I'll be honest. I need to find a video, but it was an hour and a half of me just doing it wrong. And shoot, I know that one probably won't get any recognition, but it's something that Me personally, I need to remember. Boom, look. Boom, entry right there. Respectable entry, too. That was a quick okay. Let's see what happened in these next 5 minutes. We go tap up there or we go tap out. Because this could have just been a manipulation move after we filled in this gap. If it is, and we come below here and we break and we close below here, that's not that good of a sign. And that is why you want to take partials at this level and this level. But those were not my targets to begin with. This was. Phenomenal entry opportunity right there. Phenomenal. We're watching, we're waiting. So it looks like it was there's just a lot of volatility right now. What would we look for to validate or invalidate us even staying in this trade? It's macro time. So first off, time, I think 8 to 8:10 is when I'll probably be making any crucial decisions, because macro times are 7:50 to 8:50, last 10 minutes and first 10 minutes, so every hour. But I don't know why, so I don't know how to fully confidently trade macro times and why I have such a hard time on the lower time frame. Now this could be looked at as a lower time frame sweep of liquidity, and it filled in the gap. So we could come to the 50% of this wick if it was looked at as a manipulation move or whatever. Let's see. So, boom. Yeah, if it closes below here, my demo account, I'd exit. That'd be a really valuable loss for me, because what was I missing? What did I miss? So I entered right here around this level. Thought price was going to come into this fair value gap. My stop was below here. Now my stop should be moved up significantly. But I'm moving my stop and I didn't take any partials, which kind of feels a little goofy. But if price does close below this point, I think we are going to come down here. So I'm going to just put my stop loss right there. Not if it comes below, if it closes below. How far down does it need to come below? Capital preservation, baby. Tap that. Rewind that. Rebalance that. Now I wonder, how crazy would it be for me to just catch one of those moves? Like, where do those moves happen? The ones where you go like gooshin' and gooshin' and gooshin' and goose, like 400, 500 pips. I don't know. Off of a 1 minute chart. Show me ICT. How do you catch 600-700 pips off of a 1 minute chart? That's what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Not really. So we see we made a volume imbalance over this order block. So now I'm really a lot more confident actually that is the price is probably coming up to here, because I see we swept this order block and then came above and closed above, creating a volume imbalance. And so we did need to go back down into that volume imbalance to make sure it was, rebalanced. I think. And then we shoot up from there. So we close above this. I don't want to see it come back below the 50% of this level. 50% of that candle. Also, just to hold myself accountable, there is again, an hour-long video that I have in my screen recorder of me being absolutely wrong. Not wrong the whole time, but it outlined how I had a 1-to-4 risk reward. There was really no logical reason for it to be 1-to-4 outside of me being trying to have conviction to hold for 1-to-4. That's the only reason I would have but it ended up, if it was just a regular trade and not me trying to be complete a monumental feat, then it would have hit the low-hanging fruit target and I would have been fine. They're playing games now. They're playing games. They playing games. This closed above the 50% and then gapped lower. It also tapped into this order block. Now, why did it gap lower and where are we coming from? We're coming from, again, this little midpoint right there, which is 75% of that order block, so almost all of it. If we are bearish, really bearish, we don't want to see that. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, if we're bearish, we wouldn't want to see it trade into the upper 75% of order block. So since it did, I have more confidence that we are bullish if we're not bearish and we're trading into that. What I could see as being bearish with them for the reason would be is because we are in a 15-minute order block. But again, we've been pushing through that pretty steadily. Miracle worker, I need a miracle soon. I want to see the volume imbalance turn into an inversion volume imbalance, which is weird. I don't know what that even means, but I do know he said all PD arrays can be reversed, and so I'm just taking it. It rebalance price with this candlestick, so it don't got a fair value gap. Okay, look like we could be coming down further. Man, probably shouldn't be driving and doing this though. If I'm being honest, I think this 1 minute, this top blue line should just be my target, the 630. And then after that, I don't know. Maybe even a 50% of that, because we haven't went back up there in a good minute. Man, this time aspect is really kicking my butt. Like, just waiting. Oh man, the time element. It's just the waiting. Am I just not a patient person? Come on, you got 4 minutes to make something shake. I'm shaking you. I'm shaking you down for all you got. You hear me, you markets? Okay, so now we're going to observe it super close, because it could literally just be taking this and then, shooting right back in our face. What would we need to see? We would need to see a swing high be created right there. So this candle is going to be the highest candle out of the previous minute and the minute afterwards. If the minute afterwards closes higher, then I'm going to be, feeling pretty okay about that overall target. If it doesn't come above that wick, closing it out right then and there. Just because I don't want to drive and then have to monitor this. Now, if this was the very best possible entry, was here to there. Second best was probably here at this propulsion block. Third was right here at this volume imbalance that we don't see on this chart. And then we see our entry, which was this fair value gap, but we entered at the top. So this is actually what we captured, and it's actually looks like half of the move, which is pretty good still. Okay, we got fair value gap. We did not close above. I'm pulling over. Oh, I just don't got the patience, man. I just don't want to. Oh. What? I'm having a wrestling match. Okay, so building good habits is, man, even with just demo money, this is so hard to have this conversation with myself. And if I would have just closed on this candle, that can turn out good or bad. I'm going to just close on that candle and not even worry about what happens next, because I can be right and I don't need to put so much emphasis on it. Yeah, shoot. Now if it gets there, I don't care, and I made money, but I feel especially good. I ain't make any money actually, but I feel especially good because I was able to close it out and not care about what happened after. Yes, it can tap that or it can reverse, but I'm done for the day, which is such a nice feeling. I just need to get better at doing this. But let's see. Smaller time frame sweep, break, fair value gap. As I go tap into it, and it's 10-10. What's the level? 332205. Well, we'll just say this. I don't care enough to even finish the video. It's 8:10. Have a nice day.